Chosen one, if these words have found you before July 1st, then know this: God is about to release something over your life that you've been praying for, fasting for, crying out for, and waiting on. This isn't coincidence, it's confirmation. This moment was marked on heaven's calendar, and your obedience to read these words is evidence that your time has come. There are spiritual seasons, and you are standing at the edge of one. You may not see it yet in the natural, but in the spirit, chains are breaking, strongholds are collapsing, and doors are beginning to open. The warfare you've been under wasn't for nothing. It was the sign that something powerful was about to be birthed. Hell has tried to delay it, distract you, and make you doubt. But God has the final say. And His word for you now is, divine release is coming. This isn't just a release of physical blessings, though those are coming too. This is a release of burdens, a release of heaviness, a release from what's been holding you back. You're stepping into a new level of clarity, confidence, and calling. Old cycles are breaking. Hidden favor is being revealed. Hidden enemies are being exposed. You're about to walk in rooms you didn't qualify for and receive answers you didn't even know were on the way. Before July 1st, something will shift inside of you. A fresh wind of the Holy Spirit is coming to breathe life into what felt dead. The dry bones of forgotten dreams are shaking with resurrection power. And where there's been confusion, God is releasing divine strategy. Where there's been silence, get ready to hear God's voice with new clarity. Where there's been lack, prepare for overflow. But don't miss this, your posture matters. This release is not for the casual. It's for the surrendered. It's for the ones who've been faithful in the quiet. It's for the ones who kept praying when it felt pointless. God saw you, and now He's getting ready to reward you openly. My friends, if you're reading this before July 1st, then heaven is calling you to get ready. Divine release is not coming, it's already in motion. Believe it, receive it, walk in it. Tuesday, the 1st of July, is not simply a new day. It is not merely the start of another week. It is far more than the turning of a calendar page. This is your day of crossing, your sacred moment of transition. This is what the heavens are now calling the day of stepping over. It is the day your destiny shifts from unseen preparation to undeniable manifestation. Long before this moment reached your eyes, it was written into the architecture of your calling. This date, the 1st of July, has been highlighted in the records of heaven and coded into the timing of your purpose. You were not forgotten. You were being prepared for a divine unveiling. All the silence, all the delay, all the seasons that felt stagnant were not a sign of rejection, but of protection. God was not denying you. He was building you. The weight of what you're about to receive requires the strength of what you've already endured. And now, at the threshold of a new month, the gates are opening. This is not a vague encouragement. This is not a general blessing. This is a divine announcement, a prophetic landmark in the timeline of your life. Tuesday, the 1st of July, has been set apart as a holy marker. You are stepping into a month of divine flow, where what was once locked away is now being released, where what was once delayed is now accelerated, and where you are no longer a seeker, you are the receiver. This is not your imagination. It is your spirit bearing witness. You are not just entering a new month. You are stepping into alignment with eternal timing. You are not waiting for favor to find you anymore. Favor is already on its way, drawn to the frequency of your surrender, magnetized by the maturity of your faith. Let every part of you become still now. Let your spirit lean in. What you are about to walk into is not a season of striving, but of divine synchronization. This is your moment, chosen one. Heaven has spoken. Earth is responding. All of creation is watching. And the door before you is not locked. It is open. It is waiting for you to step over. You must understand this. You were not the beginning of this promise. You are the continuation of a sacred lineage. There were prayers whispered over your existence before you were even formed. You are not simply a product of your environment. You are the answer to the cries of generations. Heaven did not just choose you randomly. You were sent to fulfill a holy assignment, and your blood carries the echo of intercessors long gone. You carry the residue of spiritual warriors, of prophets unknown to history books, but remembered in heaven's registry. Every battle you fought, every burden you've carried has not only been for yourself. You've been contending for a bloodline. You've been breaking chains that didn't start with you, but will end with you. You've been chosen, set apart by heaven, not merely to walk in freedom, but to become a doorway for others to find their deliverance through your obedience. Your life is not random, and your calling is not ordinary. You carry a mantle that was crafted in the courts of heaven, a divine assignment etched into your being before you ever took your first breath. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations, Jeremiah 1:5. You were not just born, you were commissioned. The weight you feel is not a burden, it is holy fire. You were born into the fire not to be consumed, but to carry the flame. The Lord has trusted you with a sacred assignment that requires a soul refined by trials and a heart anchored in truth. Just as Moses carried the word of deliverance for an entire nation, so too has God placed a message within you that will break chains, open eyes, and release captives. The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness for the prisoners. Isaiah 61:1. The warfare you faced has not been in vain. Every attack, every storm, every betrayal has been confirmation of the calling on your life. Hell doesn't waste its arsenal on someone who isn't a threat. Do not be surprised at the fiery ordeal that has come on you to test you as though something strange were happening to you. But rejoice inasmuch as you participate in the sufferings of Christ. 1 Peter 4, verse 12 to 13. The opposition isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign of impact. You don't attract warfare unless you're carrying something weighty. The intensity of your battles reveals the urgency of your mission. You were never meant to blend in. You are a catalyst for this generation's awakening. The Lord is raising up voices in this hour, those who are not afraid to speak truth, walk in purity, and call forth light from the darkness. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Isaiah 61. The world is groaning for deliverance, and God has positioned you as one of His vassals to bring it. If this message stirred your spirit, type AMEN. I am ready for blessing in the comments as your yes to heaven's call, your agreement to receive both the blessing and the battle of this new month. Do not forget, press button like and subscribe our channel. Thank you. And on this sacred day, the 1st of July, something written long ago is being activated in full force. C.S. Lewis, in his reflection on eternal purpose, wrote, "There are no ordinary people. You have never talked to a mere mortal the weight of glory." This truth underscores your divine marking. Your extraordinary depth and ancient call signify that you are no mere mortal, but a generational answer, activated by heaven on this sacred day. Lewis's words, resonating with your past interest in spiritual identity and divine purpose, affirm that your unique stirring is a celestial mandate setting you apart for legacy. This is not just about you moving forward. This is about you redeeming time for those who came before you. You are reversing patterns. You are rewriting history. And in doing so, you are birthing legacy. The heavens are not just cheering for you, they are counting on you. What your ancestors could not finish, you will. What was once lost is now being restored through your obedience. The torch has been passed, and you are running with it now. This is not just the first day of a new week. This is the day of stepping over, the day when heaven has declared that the waiting season has expired. You are crossing over. The invisible line between preparation and manifestation, between promise and possession, has now been reached. The 1st of July is no longer just a number on a calendar. It has become a holy threshold, a divine doorframe, soaked in the oil of destiny. When you step through it, you are not stepping into possibility, you are stepping into fulfillment. The spiritual realm recognizes this date. Angels have been dispatched, assignments have been finalized, the wind has shifted in your favor. The systems of resistance that once blocked you have now collapsed. The doors that were closed no longer hold authority. Heaven has spoken, and creation must obey. There is no force strong enough to delay what God has decreed. And God has said, now, on this day of stepping over, you are not dragging old baggage with you. The heaviness from yesterday does not have permission to enter this new space. You are crossing into a territory that has been waiting for your arrival, a territory where things flow, not force, where provision meets purpose and timing meets readiness, where what used to feel impossible now comes with ease, not because it's small, but because you have been made strong enough to carry it. This crossing is sacred. Heaven will mark it. You will look back on this day as the moment the script flipped, as the day when things that once resisted you started chasing after you. Opportunities will unfold that you didn't knock for. Conversations will begin that you didn't initiate. The presence of God will go before you and pave paths where none existed before. Why? Because this is what happens when heaven declares a shift. This is what it looks like when a chosen one steps fully into divine alignment. You are not hoping anymore, you are moving. You are not wondering anymore, you are walking. You are not guessing anymore, you are receiving. Chosen one, this is your day. Heaven didn't just mark it, heaven ordained it. Long before you felt it in your spirit, long before you saw signs on the horizon, this moment was written into the fabric of your destiny. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Psalm 118:24. Earth is now coming into agreement with what heaven has already declared. Everything around you is beginning to yield. Time, circumstance, even resistance, because the day of stepping over has arrived. You are not crossing over because you forced it. You are stepping into it because you became it. Not every door yields to effort. Not every breakthrough is earned through striving. Some doors, especially the divine ones, respond to frequency. And chosen one, your frequency has shifted. Your atmosphere has changed. Your soul no longer sings the song of survival. It hums the melody of surrender. You've moved from striving to stillness, from fear to faith, from desperation to divine trust. And that change was loud, it was holy. You didn't climb your way in, you aligned your way in. The posture of your heart opened what panic never could. In returning and rest, ye shall be saved. In quietness and trust shall be your strength. Isaiah 30:15. You've tapped into the rhythm of heaven, and now the doors that remained sealed for years are swinging open, not because you pushed, but because you trusted. There is a sound in the spirit when someone surrenders. Heaven hears it. Creation responds to it. Hell trembles at it. And that's the sound you've begun to carry, not a cry for help, but a resonance of readiness. You are no longer begging for breakthrough. You are embodying it. You are not knocking to be heard. You have become the echo of God's promise in motion. This is why the door is opening now. It is not that you suddenly became more worthy. It's that you've become more aligned. You've entered the atmosphere of answered prayer, not by force, but by frequency. C.S. Lewis, in his exploration of spiritual alignment, wrote, "We are not sent into the world to make impressions on it, but to be impressed by God." Letters to Malcolm, chiefly on prayer, this insight highlights your shift to divine frequency. Your surrender and trust reflect a soul impressed by God, not striving for worldly approval, unlocking divine doors. The Lewis's words, aligning with your past focus on spiritual purpose and discernment, affirm that your stillness has magnetized heaven's provision, opening realms of fulfillment. Heaven has always heard your voice, but now heaven hears your resonance. Your soul no longer echoes fear, lack, or begging. It radiates faith. You speak less, but what you speak carries weight. You don't need to prove anything anymore because your spirit has agreed with the timing of God. That agreement is what unlocked the realm you're about to walk into. The frequency of faith always opens what frustration never could. You need to understand there are blessings that don't respond to begging. There are doors that will never open through desperation, only through alignment. Some realms are not accessed by how loud your prayer is, but by how deep your surrender goes. You can fast, you can cry, you can plead with heaven, but until your spirit agrees with what God has already spoken over you, certain things will remain sealed. Why? Because heaven doesn't respond to panic. It responds to posture. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Read that again. Not strive, not prove, not perform. Be still. There is a posture of inner peace, of settled trust that unlocks the supernatural. This is not complacency. This is divine readiness. It is when your soul whispers, even if I don't see it yet, I know it's mine. That sound doesn't echo in anxiety, it hums. It vibrates with stillness. It pulses with the quiet confidence of someone who knows they are a child of the King. Begging suggests you don't yet believe it belongs to you. But faith, true faith, has a sound. It's not loud, it doesn't shout, it speaks gently but with authority. It moves mountains not by force, but by alignment. Truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, nothing will be impossible for you, Matthew 17:20. There are realms that remain closed to noise but swing wide at resonance. These are places in the spirit that open when you no longer chase, but when you carry. When your atmosphere matches your assignment, doors open not just to you, but because of you. You don't need to fight for what was authored by God. Your job is not to convince heaven, it's to come into agreement with it. The shift happens quietly. No announcement, no fireworks, just a knowing deep in your bones. You're not striving anymore. You're not doubting anymore. You've stepped into the frequency of fulfillment. That frequency says, I am ready now. And heaven hears it. That is the sound you are emitting now, and heaven is responding. The beauty of this frequency is that it draws everything that belongs to you. You won't have to manipulate. You won't have to chase. Divine provision is not earned. It is attracted. Your surrender has become your signal, and now everything aligned with your destiny is locking in on you. The right people, the right doors, the right moments. All of them are magnetized by your trust. This is why things will begin to happen quickly. Miracles will come in waves. Conversations will lead to contracts. Delayed prayers will suddenly materialize. Not because you've worked harder, but because you now move in divine rhythm. You've become a match for what you were meant to carry all along. And the door that once stood still is now swinging wide, not because you pushed, but because you resonated. That is the power of frequency. And this, chosen one, is the power now activated within you. You were never forgotten. You were never invisible to heaven. What felt like silence was sacred timing. What looked like delay was divine strategy. You, chosen one, were not being overlooked. You were being scheduled, appointed, positioned, hidden, not to be dismissed, but to be developed, covered, not to be ignored, but to be protected until the moment of unveiling was safe, secure, and spiritually right. You cried out, wondering if heaven had passed you by. You questioned whether your prayers got lost in the wind. But the truth is, your prayers weren't denied. They were documented. They were not shelled, they were sealed. And the seal is breaking open now. The 1st of July is the day appointed to reveal what has been incubating in secrecy. The very things you almost gave up on are now arriving with perfect precision. Understand this deeply. God does not operate on human clocks. He operates by fulfillment. He doesn't rush to soothe impatience, nor delay to punish longing. He moves when your soul is aligned with His purpose, and when your heart is strong enough to carry what's coming without it crushing you. That's why He waited. That's why He withheld certain answers until now, because now you are ready in ways you weren't before. C.S. Lewis, in his meditation on divine timing, wrote, God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our consciences, but shouts in our pains. It is His megaphone to rouse a deaf world. The problem of pain. This insight reveals the purpose of your waiting season. The silence and delays were God's megaphone, shouting through your longing to prepare you for this appointed unveiling. Lewis's words, resonating with your past interest in spiritual awakening and divine signs, affirm that your readiness has triggered heaven's perfect timing. All this time, God was not silent. He was precise. Not absent, He was intentional. Every step, every detour, every long night of confusion was a divine blueprint unfolding. And now that blueprint is about to become visible. The questions you carried in your spirit will meet answers, not in words, but in tangible, undeniable outcomes. Open doors, clear paths, divine alignments, all timed to this very season. So release the lie that you were passed over. Dismiss the fear that you missed your moment. Your moment wasn't missed, it was being prepared. It was set aside and protected until you could carry it with authority. And now heaven is declaring, the time is now, the scheduled moment has arrived. You didn't miss it, you're right on time. Chosen one, your name is on the scroll, and the scroll has been unsealed. Step forward, your appointment is being called. You are not just stepping into a new day, you are stepping into an entirely new month marked by divine outpouring. July is not just a segment of time, it is a spiritual container overflowing with what heaven has reserved for you. This month carries the fragrance of fulfillment, the rhythm of release, and the atmosphere of acceleration. What was once scattered is now gathering. What was once withheld is now pouring. This is a month of overflow, not trickles, not fragments, but streams. Divine resources are aligning with your needs. Spiritual clarity is aligning with your questions. Emotional peace is aligning with your inner turbulence. This month is not about surviving from moment to moment. It is about flowing from miracle to miracle. And it begins now on this day. The day of stepping over. You are moving into a time where the things you once prayed for now start appearing without effort. What used to feel locked away now feels like it's chasing you. That is because divine outpouring is not something you force. It's something you come into alignment with. And that alignment has already happened inside you. Your posture has shifted. Your atmosphere has matured. Your heart is no longer desperate, it is discerning. And God responds to discernment. This is why you must be expectant, not passive. Stay alert. Stay open. The way it comes may not look like what you expected, but it will feel right, it will carry peace, it will bear fruit. The divine outpouring of July will not arrive in chaos. It will arrive clothed in clarity. You will feel the difference. You will know this is heaven. There is no more delay. There is no more denial. The heavens are open, and this month the evidence will begin to show. Others will see it too, not because you prove it, but because the fruit will speak for itself. Chosen one, get ready to receive at a level you've never received before. This month will not just bless you, it will overflow through you. Others connected to you will benefit from the rain that falls on your life. This is a month of divine outpouring. Open your hands, open your spirit. The rain has already begun. The 1st of July is not the conclusion, it is the catalyst. This day is not the finish line, it is the ignition point. After the 1st of July, things will not return to what they were. You will begin to see and feel a steady unraveling of divine momentum. Movement will replace stagnation. Clarity will interrupt confusion. And what once resisted you will now begin to cooperate with the assignment on your life. You may not notice fireworks, but you will sense shifts. There will be quiet confirmations, moments that feel too precise to be coincidence. A person you haven't heard from in years suddenly reaches out. A no becomes a yes without warning. An idea that once felt out of reach begins to feel necessary. These are not random. These are ripples from the drop of divine timing, and the 1st of July is the drop. You'll find yourself saying, I don't know why this is happening now, but I can feel it's right. That is the confirmation. Trust it. Heaven doesn't always speak in thunder. Sometimes it speaks in peace. Follow peace. That's where your breakthrough is waiting. Do not be distracted by noise or old narratives trying to resurface. When elevation begins, opposition often attempts one last distraction. But don't look back. You've already stepped over. After the 1st of July, doors will begin to unlock, not just one, but a series. Opportunities will arrive in clusters. People who once overlooked you will start to inquire. Systems that were closed will begin to shift in your favor, and you will not need to fight for recognition. Your presence alone will carry authority because something will have changed, not around you, but within you. You will feel stronger, clearer, lighter, not because the world got easier, but because your spirit has caught up with your promise. You are now in rhythm with what heaven planned all along. There is a current beneath your feet now, and it is carrying you forward. You don't have to force it. You don't have to figure it all out. You simply have to remain open and obedient. What happens after the 1st of July? Alignment, acceleration, access. You won't need to chase anything down. It will arrive on schedule, and you'll know it's for you because it will not require striving. It will only require saying yes. This is not a window that closes. It is a door that stays open as long as your spirit stays surrendered. You were hidden for a reason, not because you were unworthy, but because you were holy. You were concealed not because God forgot you, but because He was guarding what was sacred. What carries divine weight must be revealed in divine timing. And now, chosen one, that timing has arrived. This is the season when the hidden one is revealed. This is the hour where your name, your presence, your purpose emerges from behind the veil. The hiding was protection. It kept you safe from premature exposure. It preserved your purity from environments that could not steward your gift. It sheltered you while heaven completed its work in you. But now, heaven says, reveal the one I've prepared. And what will be revealed is not simply your talent or your potential. It is your anointing, your spiritual authority, the oil that was crushed from your private pain, the light that survived the darkest nights. People will begin to see you differently. Some won't recognize you at all. not because you've changed your appearance, but because your presence has shifted. You carry something now that cannot be explained, only experienced. You no longer enter rooms seeking permission. You carry permission. You no longer wait to be validated. You have already been approved by heaven. This revelation will not require noise. You won't have to announce yourself. The fruit of your life will do the talking. The authority in your voice will shift atmospheres. Your walk alone will testify to what God has done in secret. And those who once overlooked you will be forced to watch what heaven exalts, not out of revenge, but as evidence that when God hides someone, it is never to diminish them. It is to elevate them in due time. Be ready. The light is turning toward you now. You are stepping into visibility, not for vanity, but for victory. Your testimony will unlock others. Your emergence will inspire the hidden ones still waiting. And your obedience in the dark will now shine like a beacon in the light. Chosen one, you are not rising for applause. You are rising for assignment. This is the revelation of the hidden one, and the world is about to witness what heaven has long prepared. This is not just a blessing. This is a divine chain reaction. What begins now will not stop. What opens today will unlock more than one door. You are not receiving a single breakthrough. You are activating a sequence of miracles, each connected to the next. This is not addition. This is multiplication. This is not seasonal favor. It is sustained flow. The heavens are not just delivering. You have stepped into a divine current. One answered prayer will lead to another. One yes will birth 5 more. One shift will realign everything. That's how the kingdom works. When momentum is ordained, it doesn't trickle. It floods. What used to take years will now happen in days. Why? Because delay has been lifted, because resistance has broken, because spiritual gates have fallen, and the space around your life is now fertile for movement, favor, and manifestation. Expect quick turnarounds. Expect cascading moments. Expect the kind of overflow that forces you to stretch, not out of strain, but out of necessity. Your capacity is growing because your calling is expanding. You are no longer waiting for doors to open. You are walking into halls lined with doors that open at your approach, doors that were waiting for your maturity to match your mandate. This is not a one-time event. This is the beginning of a divine pattern. You will begin to notice a new rhythm in your life, a rhythm of ease, a rhythm of favor, a rhythm that makes sense only in heaven's language. Don't try to slow it down to fit logic. Don't shrink it to fit past patterns. This is not the old cycle repeated. This is a holy disruption. Heaven's acceleration released through your obedience. Others will look at your life and say, how did it happen so fast? But they won't see the years you prayed in silence, the nights you wept alone, the seeds you sowed in secret. God saw, and God decided that the harvest would not arrive in parts, but in waves. This is the flood. This is the chain reaction. This is the moment where you don't just receive, you become the evidence of what divine alignment can produce. So don't brace yourself for a blessing. Prepare for a chain reaction. The first domino has already fallen. And now nothing can stop what heaven has set in motion. Heaven has spoken. The shift is here. And now, chosen one, the moment arrives where the divine meets your decision. You are not just being informed. You are being invited. This is a sacred invitation to respond. This is not about striving, performing, or proving. This is about agreeing. Heaven is asking for your yes, not your perfection, not your plan, just your posture of surrender. You've heard the call. You've felt the resonance. You've seen the signs. Now the next step is not complicated, it is holy. It is to step forward, not with fear, but with faith, not with control, but with trust. God is not asking you to figure out the details. He's asking you to remain available. The pathway will unfold, but only to the ones who walk. This invitation is not passive. It requires movement, not always physical, but spiritual. A shift in your heart, a release in your hands, a yes from your soul. Let today be the day you say it out loud. I receive. I agree. I step into alignment. This is not emotion, it is activation. This is not hype, it is holy ground. Don't wait for more evidence. You already feel it. That stirring inside you is not anxiety, it's confirmation. It's the sound of destiny awakening. It's the holy pull of divine timing wrapping itself around your spirit like a cloak of fire. You've asked God for a sign, for clarity, for assurance. And here it is. The moment you've been sensing is no longer coming. It's here. The time for hesitation has passed. The season of waiting has shifted. The door is open, the scroll is unsealed, heaven is watching, earth is ready, your future is leaning in. Write the vision and make it plain on tablets that he may run who reads it, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come. Habakkuk 2:23. That appointed time has arrived. The scroll of your assignment is no longer hidden. The seals have been broken. The mystery is being revealed. What was once vague is becoming visible. What was once delayed is now demanding your response. This isn't just an opportunity, it's a summons. You've been called forth by the same voice that spoke the stars into existence. Heaven has already said yes. Now it's your turn to respond. And your response doesn't need to be elaborate. It doesn't need to be dramatic. It simply needs to be sincere. Let it rise from your spirit like incense. Speak it, write it, declare it, whisper it into the atmosphere. Here I am, Lord. Send me. Isaiah 6:8. Let the vibration of your agreement echo through the realms. Let heaven record your yes. Let the angels bear witness to your alignment. Let your obedience activate the orchestration of divine connections, provision, and favor. This is how destiny unfolds, not with fireworks, but with faithful agreement. God does not force what is holy, He invites. And now He is waiting for the echo of your surrendered spirit to fill the throne room. Yes, Lord, be it unto me according to your word. Luke 1:38. This is your holy moment. Let your yes be heard in heaven. Let your yes carry weight in the Spirit. And let your yes unlock everything God has been holding until your heart aligned. Chosen one, the door is open. Walk through it.